Today we're going to write equations of lines in the form y equals mx plus b. We've already graphed these equations, and now we're going to write equations. The first examples we'll do are examples where we've been given the slope and the y-intercept, as in examples 1 and 2. So first, keep in mind, the equation is in the form y equals mx plus b. So write down y equals mx plus b underneath each one. That way we have something to substitute into. I'll write it there, and I'm going to write it over here. Y equals m. You should be doing the same on your paper. Now, take the slope and the y-intercept and plug it in where the slope goes and where the y-intercept goes. So m is the slope, b is the y-intercept, m is the slope, b is the y-intercept. So go ahead and plug them in, and we'll see what your equations look like. Okay, I'm sure you're done, so let's check on your answers. Over here, you should have y equals negative 3x plus 5. Y equals negative 3x plus 5. Good job. On the right, since the slope is negative 1, the y-intercept is negative 20, you should have y equals negative 1x minus 20. There you have it. Okay, those were short and easy. You really didn't have any work to do other than substituting. The next example gives us a little bit more work to do. All we have is a table of ordered pairs. Keep in mind, if we're writing an equation in the form y equals mx plus b, we need m and we need b. So we got to remember, we need m and we need b. We know how to find the slope. We take the difference between the y's and the difference between the x's of two ordered pairs. And in this table, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 ordered pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's plenty of ordered pairs. So we can certainly find the slope. Let's do that right now. You choose two ordered pairs to use to find the slope. You can use the first two ordered pairs, the first and the third ordered pairs, the first and the fourth ordered pair, the last two, any ordered pairs that you want. I'm going to choose the last two ordered pairs. So when I take my slope, I'm going to subtract the y's in this column, 5 minus 4. Of course, you could be using two other pairs. And I'm going to do in the same order 2 minus 1. So my slope is going to give me 1 over 1, which is just 1. I have my slope, but now I need a y-intercept. Take a good look at your table. Do you notice anything about the table? It might help us with finding a y-intercept. Aha, some of you already found it. Right here. This is our y-intercept. When x equals 0, that's the y-intercept. So b equals 3. When you see the ordered pair 0, comma, a number, that's the y-intercept. So 0, comma 3 is our y-intercept. We're ready to write our equation. The equation is y equals, take our slope of 1, 1x, and take b plus 3. There you go. All done. Next page. Now we're going to write the equation of the line that passes through 2 points. Again, we start the same way, remembering that we need M and B. Constantly remember we need M and B. M and B. We need M and B. Because the equation looks like this. Y equals mx plus b. So those are the two ingredients, M and B. Well, all I have here are two ordered pairs. What can I possibly do with them? The same thing we did in the previous example. Find our slope, and then either find the y-intercept, or as we saw in the last example, we have the y-intercept because I see the 0. Here I have the y-intercept. I see the 0. If you look down here, do I have the y-intercept? I have the y-intercept. So with all three of these examples, we've been given B. I'm even going to mark it. B. 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 Now we just need to find the slope. Go ahead and find your slope by taking difference of y over the difference of x. I'll let you do that for each example. Okay, go ahead and work on the slopes. Remember, when you subtract, you need to subtract the x's in the same order that you subtracted the y's. And remember, the change in y goes in the top. I'm going to start to catch up to you. I'm choosing to do 15 minus 9, which is 6. I have to do the same order. 3 minus 0, which is 3. My slope is 2. Did you write your final equation for number 1? Plugging in your slope m and the y-intercept b? You should have y equals 2x plus 9. Great job if that's what you did. For example 2, for the slope, this gets a little tricky with negatives. I'm going to take the larger value and subtract the smaller value, watching my signs carefully. 6 minus negative 16. Subtracting in the same order, 0 minus 8. Here's where kids might make a mistake with their signs. These two become a plus. I end up with 22 over, watching my sign, negative 8. Well, a positive divided by a negative is ultimately negative, and I can reduce the 22 and 8 by 2 to get 11 over 4. You always want to reduce your slope, especially if you're preparing to graph. Remember, we don't make it a mixed number. So this equation ends up to be y equals negative 11/4 x plus 6, because b was 0, 6. There you have it. Okay, I'm going to let you try this example later on your own. Let's move to the next page. On the next page, it says, show that the table represents a linear function, then write an equation for the function. You can check to see that it's linear in one of two ways. You can test the slope in the ordered pair table between each set of ordered pairs and see that the slope is consistent. Or you can simply graph the ordered pairs and see that it comes out to be a line. That's probably the easier way to go about it. So I would graph the ordered pairs, see that it comes out to be a line. Then I would write an equation for the function. Let me just do a quick sketch here. For instance, if it turns out to be a graph that goes like this, I can see that it goes through the y-axis right here. Right here. So I can visibly see the y-intercept, and then I can count my slope. So graphing the line is good for three things. It'll tell me that it's linear, it will help me see the y-intercept, and it will allow me to count the slope. That was just me graphing a sample, so I'm going to erase that. And in the next example, the table shows a bamboo plant's growth over 8 hours. Show that the table represents a linear function and write the equation for the function. You're going to do the same thing, graph the ordered pairs, see that they come out to form a line, and from the line, pick out the y-intercept, count the slope, and then write your equation. Well, that's our lesson for today. I hope you understand now how to write an equation, finding m and finding b from whatever you've been given. Have a great day.